What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TCG Empire YouTube channel. Today we are doing Meta Monday, and this is where we take a new deck idea or something that's been doing well and put it to the test and see how well it actually does. Now with Paldea Evolved, we do have a new deck called United Wings. I call it Birds, and this deck is reminiscent of Night March, Mad Party, as well as Lost March. So it does an attack based on certain factors of other Pokemon that have the same attack or the amount of Pokemon that are in a specific area in the game. So United Wings, it does 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in your discard that has the United Wings attack. There are 12 of these, so with 12 in the discard you can use Ditto, and you can hit for a total of 240 damage. Now, most of the time, you're not going to be getting all 12 in there. Most of the time, you'll have between 9 and 11, which means you're hitting between 180 to 220 damage, which doesn't one-shot most unless you're hitting for 220, but it is very good at being a consistent damage output type deck. And with the damage output you have, if you're not one-shotting, you're definitely two-shotting, and you're only a one-prize deck, so there's no stress involved in trying to outplay your opponent or not bench many things. The only two prizes we do play is Squawkabilly, but it's only good on your first turn. If you don't see it, you can just discard it later on, but it's just extra consistency just so that way you can get those birds in the discard pile with the Squawk and Seize ability. Once during your turn, you may discard your hand, draw 6, and you can't use more than one during a turn. So very good. You don't really ever use its attack, but the deck is a lot of fun. We do have one Grant in here. Grant is just a way in order to discard your hand continuously. If you draw Grant, you can use it as the supporter for the turn, and then to bring it back to your hand, you can discard 2 cards from your hand, and then you can discard it with Ultra Ball and then bring it back to your hand. There's no limit as to how many times you can bring it back to your hand, but you just have to find multiple ways to keep discarding it. So very good at helping you get rid of everything else, but everything's just pure consistency. This is the Birds Go Bird deck, so we do have 3 Pokestop as well as 3 Trekking Shoes. You don't really need 4, 3 is the perfect number for it. We do have Pokegear just to find some supporters, and we do run Thornton in order to get rid of the Squawkabilly, just so that way we can be a 2-prizer deck, or a 1-prizer deck. So overall, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you do enjoy it, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'll post the deck list right here. But yeah, otherwise, again, thank you for watching. Enjoy the gameplay. And as always, I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's Tech Tuesday. Alright, guys. So we are playing United Wings. We're going to see exactly what we can do. Now, depending on what we're playing against, this hand is absolutely amazing. So our opponent does have Darkrai sleeves, so we might be playing against Darkrai. Now, if it is Darkrai, we don't hit for weakness on anything, but we do 2-shot, and they have to kind of deal with a lot. So he starts Manaphy, so we might actually be able to get an early prize. So he benches Zora, so I think this is the Zoroark deck. The one that can turn into any stage 1 and go from there. So it'll be a prize trade, just a 1 prize trade each KO. So see how this can go. So he attaches reversal energy. So let's see what we can do. So we do get Pokegear. So I think the first thing we'll do is we'll use Pokegear just to start to thin. And then we have Pokestop. When it comes to Pokestop, I'm going to use that first, just to kind of see what we have to work with. We do get rid of a Flamigo, which is nice. We'll Ultra Ball to get rid of the Grant, and we'll grab a Flamigo. And then we'll use Flamigo. We'll grab only 2. But we are in KO range now, as there's 1, 2, 3, so we need 2 more. So first thing we'll do is Ultra Ball away the Flamigos. We'll grab the Squawkabilly just so that way we have something to draw for this turn. We'll use the Trekking Shoes. We'll put the Research into our hand so that way we can Research and then Squawkabilly. And that hand is beautiful. So now we can get rid of a ton of the birds and just start to thin like crazy, just so we can hit for a ton of damage. So with this last level ball, we'll just grab the Bidoof, just so that way we have it down, and then we'll use Squawkabilly, Squawk and Seize. And then we'll use some heavy balls just to kind of see what's in our prizes. So we have Boss, Super Rod, Nest Ball, Gear, Pokestop, and then a heavy ball. So not bad at all. We'll use heavy ball again just to thin it. And then we'll bench this other Ditto. And we'll use United Wings for 140 damage. Now if he KOs the Murkrow, we'll be hitting for 160, 140 with the DTE, which should be enough to KO a Zoroark. So, see what our opponent does now. So there is the Zoroark, and it does have the Phantom transformation. He does discard another reversal as well as Zorua. Once during your turn, you can choose a stage 1 Pokemon, except any Zoroark in your discard. If you do, discard this Pokemon and put it in play. So he does Iono us. If he manages to get the KO, we should still be okay. Oh, and we do hit the Dark Energy too, as well as a Research. So we are in a good spot. So there's our opponent. He does play Great Ball. Not too sure why he's playing Great Ball. He does grab another Zorua. So there's nothing too crazy that he can do at the moment. He can use Night Days if he chooses to, but there's no Pokemon that he can swap into, so we'll have to see how this goes. So he does use Night Days for 70 damage, and now we can just promote a Ditto. We can bench another Ditto, and we do get boss's orders as well. So we'll bench the Ditto. And we do have some recovery cards that we can actually work with, so we'll use Pokestop first, just in case we hit supporters. And we do hit a Research. So we'll use Trekking Shoes. No. We're just drawing through basically everything in our deck at the moment. So we'll Ultra Ball, we'll get rid of the Escape Rope. And we'll just grab the barrel. Actually, you know what? We're going to be drawing a good amount of cards, so we'll just grab the Murkrow. We'll use Palpad. We'll shuffle back in the Research and the Thornton, just so that way we can Thornton away the Squawkabilly. And then we can use Research. And we do draw a ton of good cards, which is nice. So we can Level Ball for the last one. We can use Grant in order to bring it back to our hand. So we'll use Grant, we'll get rid of the Ultra Ball, as well as the Watch Roll, just so that way it's back in our hand. And then we'll use United Wings for 220 damage. So we do take a prize card. Like I said, this is going to be kind of back and forth. The Zoroark has 120 HP, so we only needed 7 with the DTE in order to swing again with Ditto. But all is well. So our opponent does discard a Mightyena as well as a Sea Titan. And he can hit for a lot of damage, and then Wild Tackle he can hit for 160. So nothing that's too threatening to us right now. I mean, that was our second turn of the game, and we just went insanely crazy. We got 11 of our United Wings Pokemon in the discard, with the last one being the Flamigo that we can switch out. We don't have a Ditto that's gone yet, but we can get rid of the Squawkabilly for a Ditto if it's KO'd this turn. So he does bring up the Squawkabilly. He does evolve. So there is the Pokeball. He does get rid of a Ceralege. And now he's going to be able to hit for 200 damage with the Sarah Ledge. So, correction, he can't. The most he can do is 70 damage. So he chooses to retreat, which is interesting. So he can use Gather the Crew to search his deck for 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto his bench, but I don't think that's going to matter too much, as we are going to be down to 3 prizes, and if he does KO the Squawkabilly, then we can still win this game, as we'll be at 3 prizes. So he does have no hand now, so will be interesting to see how he chooses to get out of this. As far as Pokestop, I feel comfortable using the Pokestop, so let's see what we get. So we hit nothing. That's insane. So I think we just retreat here, and we'll just bring up the Ditto. We do have 4 cards in deck. Just to get the Grant, just use the Grant, and then we'll United Wings for 220. With the Palpad, the second Palpad, we don't have to worry too much about decking out. We can put 2 cards back, which would be 6, and then we have 7, 8, 9. We have 11 cards to work with, so even Iono won't hurt us. And we do have Super Rod prized as well, which can throw things back, so. He does get rid of a Miriam, a Curlia, and a Serena, which is unfortunate on his part. He is getting rid of Pokemon, but not the ones that he might want to get rid of. So let's see what our opponent decides to do. So he is using the transformation with Zorg, and he does bring out Curlia. So he can use Refinement in order to discard draw 2. Those 2 really have to help him, so he does get a Research. But now he has to find a way to get rid of this Curlia in the active. And either way, no matter what he brings up, we do have enough energy to keep retreating, as everything does have a 1 retreat, so we can use the Dark Energy first. And as long as in 2 KOs we do hit Super Rod, we will be able to bring everything back. And I think our Clara's in here too. Yeah, we have Clara, so we can always Palpad for the Clara as well. And then Clara will let us recover some energy as well as some Pokemon, so we can bring back the Bibarel just in case we need anything. There's a Super Rod. I wish that it would show you what they bring back in, but that's all good. So he does get rid of the Appleton. I believe Appleton does 50 times the amount of Pokemon that have an ability. Everything that he could evolve into with the Zoroarks, we can KO, so I'm not too worried about it. So we do draw. I think what we'll do right here is we'll attach the DTE to Ditto, and then we'll just use United Wings. We're really in the end game spot now, so, and we one-shot everything he brings up. And even if he does KO the Squawkabilly, he's only going to go to 3 prizes, and we'll be at 1 the turn coming back with the KO, so he'll be 1 prize behind by the end of it. Or 2 prizes behind. By the time he gets to 2 prizes, we should be on our last swing to end the game. So, there's the Arcanine. This Arcanine's pretty cool. If you have any fire energy attached, it does 160 and your opponent's burned. So, flat 200, which is nice. If burn is 20, I think burn's 20. It's either 10 or 20. And he does get rid of the Slowbro. So if we do get to 1 prize, he is going to be able to take 2 prize cards, which could be a little bit awkward. So we need to try and Thornton away the Squawkabilly as fast as we can. So let's see. We do have the Thornton still in the deck. So we'll have to see exactly how we can and we can make this work. So there's the Luminous Energy. He does play Iono. Iono doesn't bug me, and also on top of that, we probably should hit the Thornton. Yep, there's the Thornton. So now we can Thornton the Squawkabilly away. That way he doesn't have 2 prizes to work with. Because he's going to go to 4. And then on our turn, we'll go to 1. And then even if he uses the attack of Slowbro, Slowbro, he's going to go to 2 prizes. And we're going to be in the winning position. So there's the Buddy Catch Glade. Now, Buddy Catch Glade is good, but I don't think that it's going to serve him very much of a purpose, especially after he KOs the Ditto, as we are going to Thornton the Squawkabilly back into a Ditto. So, and he does hit us for 300, as everything on our bench has a ability. So we will use few cards just to thin. We'll Trekking Shoes, and we do get Manaphy. We'll use Thornton, and we'll just bring back a Ditto. The Ditto, we'll turn the Squawkabilly into it. And then with the Super Rod, we'll use Pokestop, just so that way we can possibly hit nothing. I was hoping to hit our energy, but that's okay. Or not our energy, our Pal Pad. So that way we could ensure that we get Clara back. But all is well. So we'll use Super Rod real quick. We'll just get back the barrel as well as 2 Dark Energy. Just so that way we have something to work with next turn. And we will use United Wings for 200 damage. Now all we have to do is find an energy for next turn, and we'll be in a good spot. So we did hit Pokegear. I believe there's 1 research left in the deck still. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we did get rid of 3 research. There should be 1 left, so we should be able to Pokegear into it and then hit the energy that we just shuffled back. So our opponent does play Super Rod. Very back and forth game with it being 1 prizers. Usually with the 2 prize games, it's a lot faster when it comes to, you know, taking prizes and everything, but it's not too bad. So let's see. Our opponent chooses to turn into a different Pokemon. So let's see how this can go. If he does go Slowbro again, he can take 2 prizes. But I don't think that that's going to put him in a winning position at all, because he's not going to deal damage. He has to deal enough damage in order to KO us. So he does go into the Sea Titan. And he is going to hit for 80 damage plus 140. So he's going to hit for 220 damage. He does have 180 health. So we are going to have to ensure that we draw into the cards that we need. So there's the Buddy Catch. There's Cynthia's Ambition, so he is going to be able to draw till he has 8 cards in hand. He benches Zora. There's another Zora. I think he's just hoping we don't have energy, but with shuffling the 2 dark back, I think we have pretty good odds of hitting it. So we'll go Ditto. And we do top deck the dark. And we do have a research as well. So we'll go out with Style, and we'll just draw the rest of our deck. We'll go Bidoof. And then we'll Pal Pad. We'll just shuffle 2 back. We'll use the Pokestop for the fun of it. And we can use Grant by discarding 2 darks. And then we can hit for 220 damage. Take our last prize card, and that is United Wings. Now, deck's a lot of fun. It did have kind of a slow start, but when it comes down to it, it's really good against Mew, as you do hit for weakness with Murkrow, so you're trading 3 prizes for 1 prize. Really good, solid, but overall, thank you guys again for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's Tech Tuesday.